And our word for today, on this Thursday of the first week of Advent, our word for today is taken from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7. Jesus said to his disciples, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven. Everyone who listens to these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and buffeted the house, but it did not collapse. It had been solidly built upon the rock. And everyone who listens to these words of mine but does not act on them will be like a fool who built his house upon sand. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and buffeted the house, and it collapsed and was completely ruined." Brothers and sisters, what is the difference in circumstance here? One built upon rock, the other on sand. The exact same thing happened. The winds blew, the rain came, and the floods came, and one stood and one did not. Who was spared all of those things? Neither. Neither one of them were spared of what was going to happen, right? We see it happen in both cases. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and buffeted the house. There is nothing different between those two scenarios except what the house was built upon. What's this say to us? It says difficulty is going to come. Questions are going to come. Testing is going to come, both for us individually, and I think in a bigger picture, also the church, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not say that difficulty would not visit the church, that she would be saved from the storms. No, that she would survive the storms. Jesus doesn't even say that the church won't be damaged in the storm. No, of course not. He just says it will survive the storm. And not only the church, we again referencing back to who is called the rock. Well, Simon's name is changed to Peter, so that Jesus can make this particular reference to the rock. And then give that rock the promise that the gates of hell would not prevail against it. The church would be built upon this rock, and the gates of hell won't prevail against it. So we, the members of that church, are not in any way promised that we are not going to go through the storm. We are going to go through the storm. Every single person is going to go through the storm. That's being human. That's just part of this life that we live here, because we have fallen nature, because of original sin, because of the deprivation that is all around us, because of the degradation that is all around us, and yet we have salvation anyway. And we have a promise that we will stand, that we will persevere if we build ourselves upon what? Upon that rock. Should we be surprised in any way that we belong to a church that also has to endure these storms, that takes on this damage, that sometimes appears as if it is going to completely collapse, and yet nothing is going to collapse at all, because the church itself is built upon this rock, and it stands on this promise. Now, everything else is the same. It is just what we choose to build upon. Are we going to build upon the sand, or are we going to cling to that promise that was made and build our lives upon that rock? And trust in that church that Jesus himself founded upon the rock. That is Peter, the one that holds that promise. But don't be scandalized when the storms come, when the damage happens. The church itself will hold firm, and so will we as its members, if we too are built upon the rock. Built, our word for today.